Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, back with another Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars 3 3/4 inch basic fork slink R2-D2. Now this is actually a very interesting release since, as you can clearly see in the video here, this particular R2-D2 was technically promoted as a prequel trilogy version of R2-D2, but it's got a few interesting things going for it that I didn't expect until I finally got a hold of the figure. Before anything else, we're going to take a look at the card. The card is the standard 3 3/4 inch force link design. It says that it is force link compatible. Has a picture of R2-D2 there, and pretty much has the same thing we've seen in the back as normal. So now we're going to take a look at the figure itself. Now what's really interesting about this figure is that this is actually a retool and slight repaint of an existing figure. Now, that isn't really anything new since Hasbro has done that quite a bit in the past, especially when it comes to Star Wars figures, but this particular release is actually something special. Before anything else, we're going to take a look at him next to several other R2-D2 releases. Here is the one that he got stuck with the bolt from A New Hope that I previewed earlier in an older video. Here is the Clone Wars basic one. And here's the R2-D2 that was released in the C-3PO 2-pack during The Force Awakens, which is obviously the weakest out of all of them. So, just looking at them side by side, I think this new one is really nice. And while it can work as a prequel trilogy R2-D2, there's actually one other thing now we're going to look at that makes him a little bit different. Before anything else, we're going to look at his articulation. In terms of an astromech droid, you're not going to get a whole lot, but he does maintain the swivel dome, swivels at the legs, and he actually has the swivels at the bottom parts here, and he does have a fully functional wheels at the bottom of each leg, so that's really nice. You can actually remove the third leg so that you can just have him as a standard R2-D2 there, and this is where it gets pretty special. First, we're going to remove the rocket thrusters up the sides, and now from there you could just have this as a standard R2-D2 for pretty much all the films. We're going to take a look more closely at the thrusters. Now, unlike the thrusters on the Clone Wars version, these pieces are actually removable, so you can, if you wanted to, just attach the thruster without the flame piece, so it makes it look like it's in standby, but it is nice that you actually have that option. Now, what's actually really awesome about this release is that this is actually a Build-A-Droid mold. You could tell because the parts are removable. It's a little bit tricky to pull off, but once you do, the parts are fully removable so that you can tell that it is a full Build-A-Droid release. And I find that really awesome since these particular releases haven't existed in a very long time. I don't remember exactly when the Build-A-Droid concept was announced and released, but it was around the 2009-ish to 2000, maybe like 11 or so. I'm not really 100% sure on that, where they were using these particular kind of releases. So it's really awesome to actually see a Build-A-Droid release in 2017. Now, obviously, this is 100% the same Build-A-Droid R2-D2 that was released back in the day, mainly because it is slightly different painted. There are a few newly molded parts from what I can tell. Since I don't actually own any of the old Build-A-Droids, I'm not really 100% sure on that. But he does obviously include the Force Link there, so that's obviously something that did not exist when this mold was originally made. So, I think this is a fantastic R2-D2 release, and just because there have been a lot of R2-D2 releases throughout the course of the years, it's kind of hard to recommend each and every R2-D2 release that gets released, but I think this particular one turned out really awesome, and it's nice that the Build-A-Droid figure was actually released in the modern day. So, if you're a fan of R2-D2 or just astromechs in general, then this is definitely a pickup you don't want to miss. I got this at Hasbro Toy Shop, which just so happened to actually stock this not too long ago, so your best bet is to probably check there or soon at your local stores, since it seems like it may be trickling within the next month or so, for what I can tell. Anyways, please comment and subscribe and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Check out Twitter, Darkon633, and don't forget to check me on Instagram, also on Darkon633. Please check down the other channels down below, and don't forget to check the bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. I'm back with more Star Wars reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.